Is the worst finally over? Is 2026 going to be a year where people are getting risk on again? We are starting off strong, most altcoins are going up. And this is very likely also going to help Solana. Solana's total value locked, measured in SOL, so how much decentralized finance is getting used on Solana, that's growing. That's now at an all-time high. And it's really the overall market development that's going to shape Solana's future. In a bear market, SOL can come down by 96%, where at the same time Bitcoin dropped by only 76%. So in a way, Solana is a levered form of the general expansions, but also contractions of the market. Solana is one of the riskiest of the major cryptocurrencies because it's mainly used for meme coin trading. And meme coins only rally when most people are looking for maximum leverage. Have a look at the largest tokens on the Solana chain. It's all memes. We've got Pippin, Fartcoin, Popcat, etc. Number one is the Pump token, which is the ecosystem token of Pump.fun. And Pump.fun is a launchpad of meme coins on Solana. There have been copycats on other blockchains, but none of them got as much traction as Pump.fun did. We can see how teams are adopting to the different use cases of blockchains. For example here, the largest meme coin on Solana is the Trump token. It's got a market cap of 1 billion, but the Trump family also launched World Liberty Financial. That's a DeFi project. And here, the main liquidity is on the Ethereum chain. So when it's about meme coins, Trump launches on Solana. When it's about serious DeFi, Trump launches on Ethereum. So by betting on SOL, by betting on Solana, we are more or less directly betting on the market heating up again. Now, what performs better, decentralized finance or meme coins long term? The answer is it depends. This is a WLFI token chart relative to Trump. Sometimes the meme coin did better, sometimes decentralized finance did better. And maybe meme coins are currently relatively cheap again because WLFI is expensive. Now what you see over here, that's Solana's dominance. In a bear market, Solana can underperform the rest of crypto by 84%. So the market itself is already contracting and Solana puts another lever on that underperformance. Then we saw the massive Pump.fun driven rally. Solana outperformed the rest of the market, and in the last 2 years, we tended to trade in a range. Sometimes Solana was rather expensive relative to the rest of crypto. Sometimes it was rather cheap. The range is between 2.2 and 3.7% of all of crypto being in Solana, and we are currently at the lower end of that trading range. It looks like we have bounced, and it seems like there's a very good chance that Solana could outperform the rest of crypto by another 50% from here. Now, why am I looking at dominance charts and not just at US dollar charts? It's because in the end, crypto is all about opportunity costs. Things tend to go up and down at the same time. And so really the real question is, what's the best option within the space? Now this dominance chart looks very bullish, but there is still quite a bit of a hurdle to overcome. I've backtested the best moving averages for Solana, and historically the 58-day simple moving average used to be the best. So that's this line here in red. Whenever the price is above the moving average, we should be betting on rising prices of Solana. Whenever it's below, we should either go in cash or bet on falling prices. And we haven't yet crossed that moving average. The moving average currently is at 135 US dollars. By the way, if this is not your very first time watching this channel, then feel free to subscribe over here. I publish videos regularly, and when you're subscribed, YouTube is more likely to recommend the videos of this channel again. So we can use that moving average simply to go in cash, right? Whenever we are below, the backtest shows that the capital line just goes sideways. That way, we avoid those massive crashes that buying and holding exposes us to. Or potentially we can even bet on falling prices whenever we are below the moving average. Then that outperforms buying and holding by roughly 10x over the backtested period over the last 5 to 6 years. This is long and cash. This is long and short. But then we can add even some leverage to that. Then we outperform buying and holding even more. So really, I'm hoping that we are going to see that moving average cross, because that could then help us bounce even further. The Solana dominance could climb higher. And by the way, I've also made a similar backtest for Bitcoin, and here we have already crossed the best moving average. So there is a good chance that the market is back into expansion mode again. I hope that we will also see the price support through inflows from traditional finance. This here is the stablecoin market cap relative to the US money supply. And who would have thought that 1.3% of all of dollars floating around globally are already in stable coins. Now, crypto is not yet dominating the global financial system, but still 1.3% just in stables I think is quite impressive, especially given that the stablecoin dominance is at around 10%. So we've got more than 10% of the global money supply in crypto already. Now the issue is that relative to monetary debasement, we haven't really seen many inflows in the last 2 months. And really, for the market to continue to go up sustainably over the next months, we do need to see new support through inflows from traditional finance. A stablecoin expansion we have seen in the prior months as well. Now, short term, we do not need this necessarily because, again, there is a lot of money on the sidelines at the moment. The stablecoin dominance is high, and when all of this dry powder suddenly gets deployed, when the market is using those stablecoins again to buy risk on assets, and Solana is going to rise as well, potentially to all-time highs. Have a look at the negative correlation here. When the stablecoin dominance is high, the Solana price is low. When the stablecoin dominance is low and the market is already risk on, then Solana tends to peak. And so it makes sense to buy whenever we are high in the dominance chart. It makes sense to sell whenever we are low on the dominance chart. And currently we are rather high. Now we have seen higher stablecoin dominance values in the past. That was when we entered a full-blown bear market. So it's not yet safe that we are going to bounce from here. The year is starting quite well, but we haven't yet crossed the best SMA in Solana. We've only done so for Bitcoin. And so I do believe it makes sense to take some first limited bets. If the market picks up again, Solana will outperform. If it doesn't, then it's better to keep tight stop losses. Because in the case of a bear market, again, Solana can potentially crash quite significantly, much more than most people anticipate. In US dollars, the Solana total value locked went from 10 billion all the way down to 200 million. So that's a drop of 98%. Had you invested the value of a high-end car at this point in time in November 2021, you would have then exited with the value of a used bike afterwards. So really, now is the time to only risk what you can afford to lose, or potentially to exit very, very quickly if the market does not turn bullish in the near future. Because there is a lot of money on the sidelines, but we do need a positive narrative that gets the market excited again to deploy all of those stablecoins to push Solana higher. By the way, if you want to follow my trades, feel free to check out the premium membership of this channel. While Bitcoin lost 25%, we made 17% in the last 5 months. Here are some more detailed numbers. The link to premium pops up directly on the screen. Thanks for watching. See you next time on YouTube. So feel free to subscribe. Feel free to also give this video a like. It will help the channel grow. See you next time. Bye-bye.